Money, 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 money. Ah! Are money worries bombarding your thoughts? You are in the right place today. Welcome to Bring It to Bella, where the practical and emotional sides of money come together to ease your worries. Well, hi there. My name is Bella Nissen, and this is the first episode in a series I'm kicking off called Bring It to Bella. I thought I'd start out by sharing with you a little bit about the series, and then we'll jump into this first episode. How this all started is that over the years, people would come to me for advice. Sometimes they had specific questions about money for me. Many times, though, what they really wanted to talk about was their emotions around a particular money issue. And I've found that most people have complicated feelings when it comes to money. What I'll be doing in this series is sharing ideas on how we can deal with our emotions around money, as well as including some episodes on practical financial matters. Now let's dive into our subject for this episode, which is worry and money. And this is a topic that hits home for me personally. I found that things that had happened way back when I was a kid later came back and disrupted my life. I'm going to share with you what I went through and a method I ended up developing to deal with money worries. Money is something that I thought about from a very young age. When I think about my early memories of money, it was about not fitting in because my family was poor. Now, I've heard some people say they were poor when they were a kid, but it didn't bother them because everyone around them was poor. Well, that wasn't my situation. My family was poor in a neighborhood where no one else was, so we definitely stood out. By the time my parents bought groceries and paid the mortgage, there just wasn't enough money left over in our large family to pay for other things, like clothes. I remember being in elementary school and being given a large garbage bag of clothes to take home. So there I was, this little girl, trudging home with this huge garbage bag of clothes. Got in the front door and put it down. I wonder what's in here. Everything in that bag was old, really old. The clothes were clean, but they were so outdated. And nothing fit us right. Things were too big or too small. But you know what? We wore those clothes because it's all we had. But as a kid, I just wanted to fit in. So I was embarrassed about the clothes I was wearing. And as soon as I could, I started working. I had a newspaper route, and then I worked at a grocery store. With the money I made, I was able to buy myself cute clothes and hair clips, things a teen girl wants. I was able to meet the financial need, but that feeling of not fitting in, of not looking right, that stayed with me. And those feelings later came back when I was a working professional in my 20s. I would find myself doing something in business meetings. As I sat around the conference table, I would surreptitiously look around to see if what I was wearing measured up to what the other women in the room were wearing. I even had a name for it. I called it checking myself. Okay, I've got this gold watch on. See, she's got a watch too. Looks kind of similar. I think I'm okay. All right, now what about my suit? Let's see. I have a navy suit on. Hers is black. Hers is maroon. Similar styles though, so that's probably okay. What about my earrings? Rather than being completely focused on the meeting, there was a small part of my brain that was taken up with the worry that I might not fit in. And maybe you've had experiences like that as well, where you felt you didn't measure up to other people because of money. Or maybe you have other worries about money on your mind. Those worries can actually block us from dealing with money problems head on. Money worries can keep us distracted from focusing on the important things in life. And our tendency, when worries crop up, is to want to ignore those feelings, push them down, push them away. But instead, if we bring those money worries to the surface, we can work through them and move on. I want to invite you now to join me in doing an exercise to break through your money worries. I call it working your worry away. To do this, you'll want a way to take notes, so feel free to grab a pen and paper if you like to go old school, or you can use a computer or device to jot things down. As we work on this together, feel free to pause this video along the way to really take time to think about things as you do this. Here's the Work Your Worry Away worksheet. Feel free to take a look at it and get a little familiar with it. The first thing I want to do is ask you this. What is worrying you about money right now? Something probably comes to mind right away. What I'm going to ask you to do in a moment is write out your worry and really write it out in detail, all the aspects of this money worry that are bothering you. If you found that more than one money worry came to mind, just start out with the one that's bothering you the most right now. You're going to hear some music in the background playing as you take the time to write out your worry. Feel free to pause the video to give yourself plenty of time to get all the aspects of your worry out. Now that you've written down your money worry, I have this question for you. Is there some truth to this worry? Be completely honest with yourself about this. If there's even a small amount of truth to the worry, go ahead and answer yes. If your answer is no, we're going to circle back to that in just a little bit. Right now, we're going to focus on if you answered yes, that there is some truth to this worry. My next question for you then is, what can you do to make things better? I want you to think about some practical things you can do to make the situation better. And don't worry about what other people might tell you to do. Just think about what you know would actually work for your situation. And the reason we want to do this is worries can just swirl around our head. But when we do something concrete, we start taking control. And as we take control, worry can start to decrease. So take as much time as you need and brainstorm as many ideas as you can think of to improve the situation. Now that you've finished your list, I have this question for you. How serious a concern is this money worry? You can give this a numeric rating or a verbal description, whatever works better for you. For example, you may want to rate this money worry from a 1 to a 10, with 10 being the most serious money concern you can think of. Or you can give it a verbal description, such as, this is a huge worry in my life. Or, this really isn't that big of a deal. The reason I ask you to rate the worry is because then you can decide how much time and energy you want to spend on it. A lot of times we get caught up in worrying about things or focusing on things that may not be that important. And we can end up losing sight of the things we should be focusing on. You can use this rating tool to decide how much energy you want to expend on a particular worry. Now that you've done that, you can go ahead and take action. Go ahead and pick 1 or 2 of the ideas you came up with and decide when or if you're going to implement them. Are you going to do it this week, this month, or maybe sometime later this year? You want to make a goal that's reasonable, that works for you, and that fits with how important a particular money worry is to you. We're going to switch gears for a moment and look at what you can do if you answered that first question, no, that there is no truth to this worry. If there's no truth to the worry, I want you to ask yourself, what is the reason I'm worrying about this? A lot of times we worry about things that may not currently be true because of past experiences. What you can do is, as these worries pop up, remind yourself that your past is not your present. You can recognize that those things that happen can be useful. Past experiences can serve as a reminder of how far you've come in life. And you can use your life experiences to help other people. They are part of your life story, but the past does not have to bring you down anymore. I would like to invite you to say these words with me. The past is useful, but it doesn't have to bring me down. I want to give you some final tips now about using the Work Your Worry Away worksheet. If you have more than one money worry on your mind, and most people do, go ahead and repeat this exercise for each worry you have on your mind. Once you do that, you can decide which money worries you want to start focusing on. You can save your notes, and whenever you start feeling stressed about money, you can remind yourself that you can take practical steps to deal with the worry head on. You know, there's a whole lot of things about money in this world that are out of our control, and that can cause us to feel helpless. A great cure for helplessness is action, and you took action today by doing this exercise. I am proud of you. Go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back. Good job. You know what? That felt good. Do it again. You did great. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I would love to know what other topics about money you'd like to hear about on the Bring It to Bella show. Feel free to drop me an email with your ideas to bellayoutube@bringittobella.com. Thanks for spending time with me today.